Hey there, it's Red. So today is Top 5 Wednesday and I will be showing you the top 5 characters that I wish I were more like. Number 1, Amber Appleton from Sorta Like a Rockstar by Matthew Quick. Amber Appleton is just unendingly optimistic. Despite her sort of bleak living situation, the situation with her mother, which is far from ideal, she is constantly pushing through to better herself and to see the good in everything and everyone, even when they're not always great to her back. And when tragedy does strike and some of that optimism is shattered, she's already built up such a level of love from these people that she's given so much of herself to, that they're there to help her pick her right back up again. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like that kind of optimism, that constant optimism is just so admirable, and there is not enough of that. And I like to think of myself as an optimistic person, but I don't know that I take it quite to the degree that she does. Number 2, Ryan Dean West from Winger by Andrew Smith. So Ryan Dean is your average sort of high school lack of confidence, but despite constantly having these obstacles thrown at him, despite the sort of awkwardness that is high school, especially the fact that he's 2 years younger than everybody else he's gone to school with, he just deals with it with such a strong sense of humor. And I feel like some of the situations that he is in, I wish I could take his sense of humor and apply it to some of the situations in my life. I wish that sometimes it didn't take so long for certain things to seem funny to me. Like, there's a lot of things that I laugh about now that just seem so dramatic and serious at the time, but I wish that more in the moment I could just draw a picture and laugh it off, and that would be fantastic. I wish I could kind of take a little bit of Ryan and do that. Number 3, Evie O'Neill from The Diviners by Libba Bray. I love Evie. She's kind of a wild party girl. She does not lack in self-confidence. She lacks a little bit in self-control, but she knows who she is. I mean, she really knows who she is. She's a little bit loud at times. She doesn't always know when to say no and when to just quit. But, you know, she knows who she is, and when she has those convictions, she believes in them and she stays to them, and the people she cares about, she really cares about. She makes mistakes, and it's the fact that, you know, she deals with things, you know, and she's not going to let any of her friends or her family, anybody that she cares about, she's not going to just let them fall. She's not the type of person to just throw them under the bus, and I'm not really like that either. So I guess that's sort of something that we have in common, is that there's not a whole lot that we won't do for the people that we care about. But I think I'm like most people. I second guess myself. I get that wavering confidence, and I wish that I was more like Evie. And even though she has those moments, she is just so raw. She's so raw, and at the end of the day, she knows who she is, and she's happy with who she is. And I would like to take a little bit more of that, and I'd like to be as comfortable in my own skin as Evie is in hers. Number 4, Lisbeth Salander from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. If you haven't read the book, if you haven't seen the movie, Lisbeth Salander is one of the most badass female characters ever written, or at least any that I've ever read. I mean, she's such a badass. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about her. She's confident. You know, she's a little standoffish, but, you know, that's okay. It kind of works for her. She's crazy smart. She's overcome every situation that she's had to deal with, and she's excelled. I mean, she's incredible. She is so incredible, and I wish I could take some of that badass that is Lisbeth Salander and incorporate that into my character a little bit more. I wish that I could just go at things like full throttle and just, I don't know, I think about things, I think a little bit more than she does. I feel like I calculate a little bit more, but there are certain times where I wish I was more confident to just throw myself into a certain situation or with certain people, and I think about things a little bit more, which isn't always a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but I wish that I could sort of be confident enough in myself to just go for it and know that I can handle whatever's going to happen. Number 5, America from the Selection by Kiera Cass. Now, I actually have this book ordered, and it's supposed to arrive sometime today, but I was really hoping that it would get here before I decided to film this video, and it hasn't yet, so I'm hoping that it'll be on time and it'll get here today. I've already read all 3 books. I love them. They were just fun. They were just really fun reads. But I don't own them in hard copies, so I really want to own physical copies of these books. But one thing I like about America, even though she has her moments where I just want to slap her. I mean, really, I just want to slap her, and I'm just like, oh my god, you are so stubborn. Stop it. Stop it. But it's also some of that stubbornness that I kind of admire. One thing I really like about her is that even though she feels like she's not good enough for people for the position of being queen, she never compromises herself. She never compromises her character at all. And I just think that that's something that more people should aspire to be like, me included. I've gotten a lot better about being more like that, not being as much of a doormat for people, because I used to be like, I used to be more of a people pleaser. If you were somebody that I cared about, it was much easier for you to walk on, like, all over me than it should have been. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot better about that. I've gotten more comfortable in my own skin, and I know how to sort of stick to my own principles, to form good relationships with people, to establish opportunities for myself without compromising the type of person that I want to be. One thing that America never does is really compromise the type of person she wants to be. Sometimes a little too much. It can make her a bit inflexible sometimes, which I don't know that is necessarily a good thing. Like, I don't like to I won't compromise my character, but I do believe in some flexibility. Otherwise, nobody's going to get anywhere, as we found out through 3 books of the Selection. I mean, how long did it take for anything to happen, really? So I think that flexibility is important, and she could do a little more with that, but her unwavering, honesty and commitment to herself and the type of person that she wants to be, and sticking to those morals, I respect that in her character, and that's always the type of person that I'm going to aspire to be, because I'm constantly trying to better myself. You look at any of these characters that I've just talked about here, and it's not that I'm completely unlike the things that I admire about them. I do think that I have some of these characteristics, and maybe I just want to continue with some of those things or expand on that in my character, and I am able to sort of recognize that counterpoint in these other characters, and I don't know, I'm always trying to better myself. So these are the types of qualities that I admire in a character, and I admire them for being in these characters, so naturally I'm going to want to be more like the qualities that I admire. So hopefully you didn't get too bored in that rant. That was all for this Top 5 Wednesday. I will have more videos up soon, and I will talk to you guys later.